You're welcome to the next MP. My name is Kafui Day. Can you believe it? 106 days left to the general election, December 7, 2020, and things are looking very interesting. My guest tonight is a procurement professional who is going up against two heavyweights from the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress. She is the Liberal Party of Ghana's parliamentary candidate for the good people of South DAYI in the Volta region. PRISCILLA DONKOR. You're welcome to the next MP.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. Tell us how your campaign is going so far.
Okay, so before I start, I would like to say a big thank you to the people of South DAYI constituency, the chiefs that we've met so far. So for the campaign, the support has been really massive. You know, the people accepted us so well, and we are ready to work with them. And they are also ready to work with us. So it's been great.
What are they telling you about your candidacy for the seat?
Okay, so, you know, when we started with our rounds first, it wasn't easy. But then when they got to listen to us, now they want a change. They are tired of the NPP, they are tired of the NDC. And seeing as the Liberal Party of Ghana, they are ready for a change.
When you say it wasn't easy in the beginning, paint a picture for us. Exactly what were the difficulties, what were the obstacles, what were the challenges?
Okay, so the people are used to, you know, getting money from those politicians when it's almost time for election, where they are giving like 50 cedis, 100 cedis just to go and vote. So for us going there with our message, telling them that if you take that 50 cedis, that 100 cedis today, it will finish that same day. So why would you rather vote for someone who is rather ready to bring you development and then forget about the 100 cedis, the 50 cedis, and go in for the development that will last you a lifetime and your generations unborn? And they're happy about it.
What is your response to somebody who says, okay, it's nice, beautiful ideas, development that will last so many years, but I'm hungry now?
Yes.
Give me something to eat now, Madam Parliamentary Candidate. What do you tell somebody like that?
So this projects that we are bringing on board are not just projects that will say it will take 5 years, 10 years before somebody benefits from it. But then these are jobs that we can do today and benefit from it tomorrow. So telling them all that and they knowing that it's visible, they are supporting. They're supporting.
For those who have never known any other parliamentary representative apart from the NDC, what is your message to them?
Okay, so when we went there and then for them seeing us or seeing me as a woman, they were like, okay, there is a change. A change has come to the constituency because it has always been the men. The men go and then they give all the big promises. But then there's a woman. Let's give the chance to the woman. So seeing me as a woman and knowing what women are capable of, they are ready.
What are women capable of?
We are capable of delivering when we make promises. We don't disappoint. We just don't promise the people. But then we say things that we can do. And then we do it for them.
Talking of delivery, I was very interested in the Vice President's presentation earlier in the week on infrastructure. And they launched this website, deliverytracker.gov.gh, yes, claiming that over 17,000 projects are currently either completed or ongoing around the beautiful country of Ghana. So I was curious. So I went to check out what was happening in South DAYI.
Okay.
And according to the statistics that I saw, there are 23 projects ongoing or completed in South DAYI. Okay. And Dr. Bawumia says they've delivered on the education front, a 4-unit classroom block in Todome, a 3-unit classroom block and library at Chinyinu. And then for water, they've delivered a project at Agodeke and Tongo Kaira. And then for housing, they have renovated a magistrate's bungalow in Peki. And they've also relocated a fire station also at Peki. These are the 6 completed projects.
Okay.
They are delivering, wouldn't you say?
Okay, so why wait till almost election before doing all this for the people? And as he said, the constituency is very huge. It's not just the Peki, the Todome. There are other towns that haven't seen any development yet. So I don't see these things. I think we should go to the grounds and see more for ourselves because the constituency needs a lot of development.
You're not impressed with the classroom blocks. Children need to be educated.
It's not enough.
There's water. People need to drink good water. Or
It's not
justice
enough.
delivery, the magistrates.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. The people deserve more than this. Yes.
That's pretty much something that an opposition candidate or somebody who is not in power would say. I mean, you say they deserve more because you want to sit on the seat. Not
just that. We want to sit on the seat to work with the people, to work for them. And these people are people that are ready to work. You know, they are young men and women who are into the vocational and technical field that need support. You see, these buildings are good, but how are we supporting the young ones? You know, how are they going to the school? You know, what would they eat? What jobs would they do to, you know, pay the fees and other things for the supposed students who are supposed to use their classroom blocks and other things? So the people deserve more. They deserve more. So from what you're telling me, yes, the buildings, the physical infrastructure, they're all good, but they need to be supported to earn a living, to pay for the fees that will will definitely be charged if they have to go to the hospitals and the clinics and the schools and things like that. Let's talk a little bit about who would be your major opponent in this particular race. I'm looking at the list of candidates who have represented this particular South DAYI seat, and since 1992, there have been only 4 MPs. In 1992, Alexander Ababio was there for 2 terms, that's 8 years. In 2000, Daniel Ampofo took over, also 2 terms. In 2008, Simon Asima took over, also for 2 years, for 2 terms. And then in 2016, Roxanne Dapemapo won. Looking at the trend, the NDC candidates always get 2 terms. That's why. With nice margins, high 70%, early 80%, low 80s. That's a big challenge to unseat Mr. Dapemapo. So that's why I'll say that our people are being taken for granted, because they know that when they come into power, whether they work or not, they'll still retain the seat. But it's the people who go and vote. It's the people of South DAYI who have given the mandate to all these 4 gentlemen. Nobody has really stood up to them. MPP has been standing up to them? But I think their delivery hasn't really gotten to the people. But then, you know, when we went to the grounds and then we met with the people at the grassroots, these are people who keep complaining that these MPs, they come, they give them the promises. Then at the end of the day, after winning, you don't see them around again. They only come around when it's time for election. And then they come, give money, throw money around, and then people vote for them again. But then this time around, they are tired, because it's like they've been taken for granted, and they don't want that anymore. And me being a woman, they are ready to support. They're ready to support just because you're a woman? And they know what I can do for them. What can you do for them? Okay, so we go there to meet with them. You know, each town have their problems that they are facing. So we don't go with the promise that, okay, when we come, you're going to build schools for all of you. You might get to a town that school is not a problem for that moment. Probably they need water, they need other things to keep them going. So we meet with the people and then we ask them what the problem is, what we can do to help them. And taking those concerns and then trying to address them, as we've started with some, they are ready to work with us and we are ready to serve them. How have you started addressing some of these problems even before the election? Okay, so there are young men and women who are out from school, yes, and they don't have anything doing. So we have started putting in place training programs for them. So for the ladies who like to go into the detergent session, those who are ready to learn how to make the gari, how to make the biscuits and then the fabrics. These are people who are coming to us and then they are crying to us, telling us that they need something to keep them going. Not just something that they will take the money and then finish it today, but then something to keep them going months after months. And we've put in all those things in place. Okay, so PRISCILLA, I'm curious. So this team, when you stormed South DAYI, how many people are in this team? Okay, so I have people coming from the party, the office, and then I have people who are working with me. So when we get to each town, you know, we have executives that are already working on the ground, so we move with them. So when we get to Parliament, we move with the executives to the people. When we get to we move with the executives to the people. So meeting the people, the number is quite huge. You know, they've heard the news, they've heard the message, and they're ready to meet who the next MP for their constituency is. So it's been great.
And you're hoping that's going to be you?
Yes.
Have you ever stood for any political office in the past before?
No, but then it has always been opportunities that will put me at a level that I can assist people, that is into pageantry. Yes. Let's say when I went to the tertiary, I stood for Miss Obasima, where I won, and I had my project. I named the foundation the Obasima Foundation, where I did donation to some schools in Accra. Then from there, I decided to take it on to my hometown, that is PALIAMENTARY, where I was born, and I took it there, and I tried helping, and then I decided to compete again. That was last year, and God being so good, I won. So these are platforms that have, you know, exposed me to the people, and is helping me to also, you know, get back to them and then support them in the little way that I can. So this platform is a bigger one.
In the past, there was a lot of negativity associated in some quarters with somebody being a beauty contestant or beauty pageant, taking part in a beauty pageant.
Yes.
And you would not be the first politician who has used that platform to now go into politics. I can remember from the 2016 Bridget Jobanuku pairing up with Dr. Indum on the ticket of the Progressive People's Party. What kind of negative pushback do you get from people who know that, oh, okay, she was also in a beauty pageant?
Yeah. Okay, so as you said, there are a lot of negativities that are being associated with pageantry. But then people who know me and have seen me know that I only associate myself with brands that are very highly, should I say, recommended to people or are good. Because the Miss Obasima was for my school, and it was about development.
Accra Technical University.
Yes, please. It was about development, about, you know, confidence, about helping people. And from there, going back to my hometown and Miss Palipapa, yes, that is for development and unity among the traditional areas. So this pageantries are pageantries that help society, not just anything that will go against women or against men. So pageantry is good. I would advise people who are interested to go in, but then go in for the brands that are very good.
Okay, let's talk about your campaign right now. So how is that going, and what are the challenges in trying to run and stand for your people? Okay,
so it's been good so far, you know, meeting up with the people and then getting them to accept your message, and then the party is a good one. But our challenge would have to be with transportation. You know, transporting yourself from one town to the other is not easy. There are some villages that you can't use your car. You'd have to use motorbike.
Bad roads?
Yes, very bad roads. Some places too.
Who do you blame for the bad roads?
Should I say the government and then the MPs who have been on the seats that have ignored the people of my constituency? Yes, I would say they didn't do anything to help us. They might have tried, but then I think it's not enough. It's not enough. So the challenge has been roads, because some places you'd have to walk miles and miles before you access, you know, car or even a motorbike. So I think that has been the only challenge so far.
You've been jumping on the back of the motor, or you ride your own motorbike?
No, I jump, you know, the guys, they riding, and then I'm behind them with my helmet, with my boots, and I'm in.
Is it exciting? It is.
You know, from the beginning, it was a bit scary because not really a fan of motorbike, but then because of the people and the way I've decided to serve them, I have to do it for the people.
Let's talk about money.
Yes.
How are you funding this campaign? I've had responses ranging from, oh, I've only spent 10,000, and this was from an independent candidate last week, to, oh, the last time I checked, it was 300,000,
wow.
and I'm still doing my books.
Okay. We haven't, should I say, I don't have a figure yet, but we've
spent too much?
Oh no, I wouldn't say. We've had people supporting in. You know, you'll be there and then somebody will say, I like the vision. I like what you are trying to do for your people. I will support you with this. I will do this for you. So it's been great. And the party is supporting as well.
That must be an expensive venture for the party. How many parliamentary candidates are running for LPG?
I think we have 150 so far. Yes. They are supporting in the little way that they can.
Would you have wished that your party had a presence in every constituency, all the 275 constituencies of Ghana?
I think that will be up to the president to decide. But for now, those that are on the grounds now, our president knows that we are capable of winning the seats. So he's working hand in hand with us.
You're calling him president already?
Yes, he's our president.
Okay.
He is the next president of Ghana.
Mr. Percival Kafui Akbalu.
Yes, please.
So let's get back to your campaign. What is the core message that you are conveying to the people of South Dayi?
Okay.
Why should they vote for you?
Okay, so anytime we get to the grassroots, we meet the youth. It's always the youth that welcome us with, open arms. And then seeing most of them out of school, we have lots of people with talents. We have people with vocational skills, with technical skills. When you go to my constituency, there are people who are good with their hands that they can, create furnitures out of, common woods that we see, lying around. And those people are people that need support. They need push. So when we go there, we ask them what they need, what they want, and then we put all those things together. Because we don't go there to say, okay, we want to do this for you, we want to do that for you. But then we listen to what their problem is, and we try putting all together and then supporting them.
So you would say that it's an audience-focused kind
yes, we engage them. We engage them. Yes.
What do you do if they tell you that they want something that you can't really give? I mean, are you honest with them?
I'm being honest. When I go there, I tell them, this is me, this is my party. I want us to work together hand in hand. I want to serve you. So what can I do to support? So they tell me, okay, there are a lot of footballers here, so we need you to support us with football. We need you to support us with jersey, with our parks and all that. So seeing those things, I know we can do it. It's not something that is so, so huge that we can't support the people with. So some of those things, we have already put measures in place to help them with. So it's been good.
And how about those who are more focused on the here and now? I mean, never mind about footballs and great development. Madunu right now. I want to eat now. I mean, what do you tell people like that?
You go to some places, they'll be like, oh, Honorable, you have to give me like 50 cedis. You have to give me 100 cedis. I want to buy food. I want to do this. I don't have money to feed my wife. I don't have money to feed my children. So we've started putting in place projects that will engage the youth. So we've started plans on, this Lucky soap manufacturing. We started thinking about this gari making, where the people, they produce lots of cassava. So why don't, instead of just making the cassava dough, why don't we make gari as well? So that when you make the gari, we'll come to you and then we'll buy from you. We send it straight to Accra or other places that need gari, and then you get your money back. So it's just a way of engaging the people and then helping them to, earn a living day after day.
Helping them to earn a living day after day. Creative solutions coming from PRISCILLA DONKOR, who is the Liberal Party of Ghana's parliamentary candidate for the good people of South Dayi in the Volta region. When we return, we shall be going deep into the LPG's core messages. Stay with us. Are watching the next MP. I'm glad I have your eyeballs and your ears on this show. My name is Kafui DAYI. My guest is PRISCILLA DONKOR. She is a procurement professional and the parliamentary candidate for the Liberal Party of Ghana, hoping to represent the people of South Dayi in the Volta region. In case you're wondering, South Dayi, which towns? Well, if you hear of towns like Peki and Parliament, Dugan, Beve, which is the district capital, then you are talking of South DAYI. Priscilla, let's zero in to the messages of the Liberal Party of Ghana. So your core messages were launched in July.
Yes.
And I'm looking at interesting promises. You are talking of introducing and paying monthly child benefits, monthly unemployment benefits.
Yes.
You are giving money to people just because they have children or just because they don't have a job. Is that what you guys want to do?
No. Okay, so we have parents. I don't know if you've been listening to the news. I know you do. There are parents who are, there's a woman who killed her 2 kids just because the husband gives her 20 cedis for a week. And she thought that it wasn't enough for her, so she decided to kill the kids.
So you're basing this policy on that?
Which is very sad. There are a lot of parents who are going through a lot just because they have kids. And, you know, there are some who are widows, they are widowers and all that. Others who have run away from their wives, their husbands, just because they are kids. So the party has realized that they can support those people. If you have a child, it's 200. If you have 2, it's 400. Why not give it to such people and then support them? And that 200, that mother or that father can set up a small business. And then from day to day, she can earn something small from it, which is very good.
Sounds interesting.
Yes.
But where is the data to support this? Does the Liberal Party of Ghana know how much this is going to cost? Do you know how many children are in the system who would need this kind of money? And have they done all the mathematics? How much is this costing Ghana?
Okay, so that's why the party is ready to, you know, intensify the birth rate, birth records, to make sure that all children who are born in the country from constituency to constituency, from village to village, are kept on proper records so that sharing won't be a problem for them. Which
means the LPG doesn't know how many children are going to benefit from this right now.
We know.
What's the number?
We have all that data there.
So tell us what the number is.
We have it, but it's unfortunate I didn't bring it.
It's not here.
Yes.
Okay. And so the unemployment benefits, does the LPG know how many people are unemployed in Ghana
yes,
right now?
Yes, we know. We have the data. You keep hearing from the ruling party and then the past government talking about the unemployed graduates, unemployed youth and all that. So the data are available and we know what to do and what we are going to do.
There's more of this, what some people are saying is free money. It's actually called a startup allowance. And the LPG proposes to help unemployed graduates to start a new business in year 1 of the life of the business. And so they want to give a startup allowance. How much do you plan to give? We know you are giving 200 for child benefits. How much are you planning to give unemployed graduates every month?
The president and his team are still deciding on how much. It will depend on the value of the CD and then, the prices of goods and all that. That will determine how much will be given to such people to start their businesses.
There are more numbers here. So this one actually has a figure of 10 billion. So there's a jobs fund.
Yes.
Tell me how that works and where you're going to get the money from.
Okay, so if I'm to quote the current president right, he said, Ghana yeti sikaso nense come there. So we know there is money in Ghana.
Meaning that we are sitting on money, but we are hungry.
We are hungry.
Okay.
So there is money. We know there is money. And setting up a job fund won't be a difficult one because it's a fund that is going to support the youth or the people of the country. When you support someone and the person comes and then starts a business, he or she will employ 2 or 3 or even more people to join in the business. He or she will pay tax and it will get back to the government. So it's a fund that is going to support such people and then the returns will also get back to the government.
How does the LPG propose to raise the money? Because if it's free, if something is free for me, well, I'm not paying, but somebody else is paying. Yes. How does the LPG propose to raise the money to set up this $10 billion job fund, which in CDs is almost 60 billion.
Yes, it's huge when it comes to the CD.
How are you raising the money?
Okay, so, our tax, should I say that tax structure hasn't been properly, even though it's being improved day by day, but then we'll say that when we come into power, we are going to intensify it more to make sure that all the taxes that we are going to get, we are going to keep it well and know where to get the money from. There are other avenues that helps with the the getting of money for the government. So we are going to make sure we get that fund from there.
Are you not going to burden the Ghanaian people with more taxes?
Not at all.
Just to fund your campaign
Not
promises?
At all. Not at all.
Let's look at another promise here, another core message. So the LPG proposes to guarantee for loans for up to 250,000 cedis. I believe this is per person, to support the educated youth for self-employment. When you say educated youth, what level of education are we looking at?
Okay, so educated youth, anybody who can read and write is educated.
So you're going to give 250,000 cedis to a GHS student?
Not just anybody, but then if you come with a business plan, I'm an entrepreneur, so if somebody comes to me and says, okay, Madam Priscilla, please, I need money to start up a business. I'll first ask you what kind of business you are into. Look into the trend. Is that kind of business really trending? Are people really interested in that kind of business? I will do all those checkups before I give you the loan or some help, because I just don't want to give you something that you start to do and then tomorrow, the money is finished, or I've gone bankrupt, or the money is nowhere to be found. But then you do those research. If there's advice, okay, it would be better to go into this or to go into that, then you can help the person. So you're going to put all those into check, come with your plan. Okay, what you have is visible, then we support you.
Let's talk infrastructure. It's been a trending topic the last week. And the LPG has a few points on infrastructure. This year, by the way, was declared the year of roads by the president, Nana Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
LPG says you are going to fix all roads in Ghana by 2024.
Yes, and it's
by that
possible.
time, don't you think the roads would have been fixed?
We are not sure.
2024, you're going to fix all roads.
There are still villages and towns that have still not seen any development yet.
And you're going to use 4 years to fix all the roads in Ghana.
That's why the constituency executives, the parliamentary candidates are working so hard that we get our seat and be able to, support the people. Because if I'm to tell you the roads that leads to my constituency, most of them are very bad. So if I come into power with our president, Mr. Kofi Akpaloo, we are going to work hand in hand and then support the people.
When you say fixed roads, what do you mean?
Okay, so there are roads that have bad potholes. There are others that haven't seen the quota that we keep saying, yes. So such roads needs to be, fixed.
So is it quota? Is it the red roads graded, asphalt? What is it? I mean, when you say fix, what?
It's going to be fixed from the grading to the asphalt, everything.
Have you costed it? I'm interested in the money.
We are putting everything together. Our president is an accountant. So when we talk about figures, we know what you are talking about.
Are you not overburdening your president with all this information?
Not at all. Not at all.
Won't the team organize this and so that they can leave him to focus on running his presidential campaign?
We work with a team. So when we all come together, we know what we can do and how capable we can do it. So that's why we put it here.
The Liberal Party of Ghana is big on technology. I mean,
yes.
your logo has a computer, desktop computer on it. And in your promises, you're talking about providing free Wi-Fi in all schools and colleges nationwide.
Yes.
This sounds juicy. How are you doing this?
Okay, so I think Accra Technical, some years back, I would say, had that kind of Wi-Fi in the school.
But that's just Accra Technical.
Yes.
You're talking of
so
Ghana.
We have realized that with that just one school, as you put it, it has been able to help students, others, research, working, getting information to do project works and other things would help people. So why not extend it to other schools? Give the opportunity to all, not just one group of people, but then spread the opportunity to everybody. Let everybody enjoy the national cake.
How are you doing this?
Okay, so we have, done our research. We have sat down with a team. We have researchers that we are working with. So we've done all this and we've put all in place. That's why it's on the paper.
World-class school infrastructure. Break it down for me. What does that mean?
Okay, so our former president has built his the e-blocks. Our current president says he's also working on some. So when we come into power, we are going to make sure that constituencies or towns that haven't experienced any of that would be given or be helped. It's just not going to be any building at all, but then a building that has, all the facilities to assess, to help the students. Let's say this technology department, we have the science lab, we have now the vocational and technical department. So we are going to make sure that all the schools have this facilities to help the students.
I'm looking at, still on infrastructure.
Yes.
So the President, Akufo-Addo, talked about 88 hospitals in a year. It got upgraded to 111 hospitals in a year. I see you having your party saying that they want 10 new state-of-the-art ultra-modern hospitals to improve on health infrastructure. Are you not just biting from the NPP's promises and making them yours?
No. So he said this few months to election. I don't know how possible.
He said this in April.
Yes, so we are still few months to election. And how many have you seen being done? I haven't seen any. So we have put in this down years back, and we know that when we come into power, these are things that we are going to start implementing. Not just wait till almost another election is coming before we start giving those promises. We've done the research, and we know that it's possible, and we can do it. That's why we've put in it down years back.
There's another point here on infrastructure, and this has to do with, it's quite an interesting one to me, is affordable housing, rental, accommodation nationwide. We know that there's a huge housing deficit in Ghana.
That's true.
And the LPG wants to do something about it. So how does this work? Is the government going to be building houses for people to go and live in?
Okay. So, we have the affordable housing project. But ask yourself, how many Ghanaians have been able to access that? When they quote the figures to you, you marvel. The average Ghanaian that we will claim cannot even afford it. It's always the rich people who are buying those affordable, acclaimed affordable houses. But then we are going to put in place houses that people can just pay, and we are not going to take like 2 years or 3 years, but then it's going to be based on monthly. So if monthly is 50 cedis, you take it and then you move into your house.
Still with a couple of the promises here. Yes. So LPG wants to make university education free.
Yes.
President Akufo-Addo rode into town in 2016 on the back of free SHS. Now you want what? Free varsity.
Yes. It's in the Constitution.
That?
So, yes, that education should be free from the senior high school to the university. So if it has been started by another government, which is the free senior high school, and all those graduates come out, affording university won't be an easy one for them, because university education is very tough, it's very expensive. So we are going to work hand in hand with the institutions to make it free for them.
But it comes with money.
Yes.
And is going to be loans? How does LPG fund all this? Because it's one thing to put promises on a beautifully designed flyer. It's another thing to back it with cash.
Yes, that's true.
Hard cash.
Yes.
Have you costed it? Has the LPG costed it? Or you're waiting for Mr. Balu to do this one as well?
So as I said earlier, our president is an accountant, and we just don't get on the grounds, or we just don't sit and then put campaign messages down. We sit with researchers. We have a team that we work with. So before we put something on a paper, we have evaluated it, we've looked at it, we've seen the possibility of it before we put it here. So for us to say that university education is going to be free when we come into power, it's possible.
Creating 1 million new entrepreneurs in Ghana, that means maybe 1 out of every 30 people we see in the streets will be an entrepreneur. How does the LPG plan to do this?
Okay, so there are lots of entrepreneurs in Ghana. There are lots of people who are just good with their hands, and if we give them the opportunity, such people are going to put Ghana on a global market. They are going to sell Ghana so far. We have people who are into the furniture, the kente, the food, and all that. Because if you remember, there is a Ghanaian who traveled all the way to just go and cook wache. Yes. So we have such people. We have people with potentials, and supporting such people won't be a difficult one. And it won't be that we'll meet you in town and say, okay, are you an entrepreneur? We want to help you. But you know, we have people, we have associations of this group of people. Let's say in my constituency, there are lots of people who are entrepreneurs, but then they need support. But because they haven't been given that platform, you know, they've called back into their shells because they realize that, okay, nobody is helping us. But then with the party and our message, and because they've given us that support, we are going to make sure when we come, we are going to support their dreams.
Okay, let's talk a little bit, move away from jobs and infrastructure. Let's look at an interesting core message.
Okay.
Why does the LPG think that the Ghana Police Service needs to become honest and professional?
Okay. Okay, so we have realized that, you know, the security service should be independent of their own. It shouldn't be a president or a city president that will, you know, select their heads and then, you know, keep, should I say, guiding them or anything. It should be an independent body. They should be able to work on their own, make decisions by themselves, and then, you know, train such people that they hold our lives. The security service, they hold our lives because we sleep and then we are scared, but then these people are moving around in our community, in our towns and all that, just keeping us safe. So they should be professional in their, you know, their work.
Are they professional now?
With the current, not all of them, some of them. Some of them. Majority are very professional. You know, they say, you know, in every institution there are bad nuts in there. So it's not everybody, but then we are coming into power to make sure that all of them, you know, we pick the right people to, you know, to represent the security service. It won't just be protocol because I know somebody or because I have a brother somewhere. I need to fix such people.
But you just said that you want the police to be independent. Why would the LPG want to be picking the right people?
No, that's why I'm saying that their heads should be mindful of the people that they select into the service. It shouldn't be because I know of somebody or because of protocol. Okay, somebody is bringing 100 people who are not even qualified.
So you're going to stop protocol admissions
yes,
to the Ghana
it shouldn't
police?
be something that a country as Ghana should, you know, entertain, because it's not helping. Because if I'm to bring everybody from my constituency into the force, what about people who are ready to serve? How are we supporting them?
How do you hope to overhaul the Ghana Police Service, LPG?
Okay, so when we come into power, as I said, I keep saying that we have researchers, we have people that are, you know, put on the ground to make sure that everything that we put on this paper are things that we can do, are things that, you know, we can have the people working together. So it's possible that we'll be able to deliver on all the promises that we've said, especially with the police service. So the party is working. They are working.
She says the party is working and they are working for a victory come December 7, 2020, 106 days to the election. When we return from this break, we shall be finding, or I shall be asking Priscilla how her life experiences have shaped her to this point where she wants to represent the good people of South DAYI in the Volta region on the ticket of the Liberal Party of Ghana. Stay with us. This is the next MP. Thank you very much for staying with us on The Next MP. My name is Kafui. My guest is Priscilla DONKOR. She is the Liberal Party of Ghana's parliamentary candidate for South DAYI in the Volta region. Priscilla,
It's Kafui.
I'm curious about you and your experiences, your life experiences, and how they have brought you to this point where you want to go into the House of Parliament to represent your constituents. Tell us about your life and the things that have really marked you out for this particular journey that you are on.
Okay. So growing up hasn't been so smooth. You know, you get the challenges here and there. but then, you know, the support of family, the support of people surrounding you. People keep pushing you that you can do it, and then when you step on to those, you know, shoes, you marvel at what you've been able to achieve. So growing up has been taking up of taxes. You know, you then you be assigned this tax, and it will marvel you that I'm able to, you know, deliver it so well.
Tell us about one tough task that you took and you surprised yourself because you were able to execute it
Okay.
to perfection.
Apart from let's say positions being held at church, I think I will take my pageantry as a bigger task for me. You know, beauty pageant is always has been that, okay, you need to be so tall, you need to be so pretty, you need to be a bit fair. But then with the pageantry that I contested, just bringing my experience and know-how onto the table has been successful. And I delivered it so well that I was like, okay, I can even do more than what I'm doing.
What's the toughest challenge in running for public office as a woman, and what do you have to give to those who are looking up to you for inspiration?
Okay, so I'll keep telling people that you know, standing for such position as a woman won't be easy. You know, you get the backlash from the men, you get all kinds of words to, you know, tarnish your image. But then we should be, you know, determined. We should be focused on what we really want to achieve. So that should be it. Anybody who is ready to take up such office should be ready to be focused, and then you will listen to what people are saying. Pick the right ones out and then leave the ones that wouldn't help you.
How do you deal with negativity?
Okay, so I listen to anybody that comes to me with anything that has to, you know, push me down. I listen to you, all right, I take it, and then I pick the ones that I think I can improve as an individual, and then I move on.
What's the most shocking thing somebody has told you in this your parliamentary journey?
I think I haven't had any yet. I haven't had any yet.
Is it that they say it, but you pretend not to hear them?
No, you know, the support of the people has been a massive one in such a way that you be in a town and then they'll call you, Honorable, we are waiting for you. This number of people have gathered and they want to see you. Because they haven't really had a woman contesting as an MP before. So the challenge from the people is one that is really pushing me to even go harder. So there hasn't been anything that has been said that has really pushed me down yet. And I'm sure it's not coming.
Are you used to being called honorable?
Yes, I am. It's been something that people have been, you know, calling honorable, honorable, honorable. And, you know, when they call you those names, it comes with a bigger tax.
And if you don't make it to the House of Parliament,
we are still going to work with the people. It's not going to push me down or pull me down in any way. But then, you know, there are projects that we want to start, and then we'll still continue. So with the people, I know we are going to take the seats. I will take the seats, and LPG is going to win, and we are going to serve the people.
How has COVID affected the people of South DAYI?
Okay, so, you know, Accra has the most of the cases. You know, my people are a bit careful. You know, we keep telling them about the precautions that we all have to, you know, adhere to. That is the washing of hands, the wearing of the nose masks, and then making sure that you don't touch your fellow man or woman when you go to town, and then, you know, the spacing at the marketplaces. So we make sure that when we go to each town, we educate the people on what to do and what not to do.
A couple of months ago, 4 church people in South DAYI were jailed. Tongo Abui, who was the pastor. Then you had Samson Agakbe, founder of Church of Pure Christ, Maxwell, Jogwe Jikpe, assistant pastor Samuel, Agakbe, secretary. They deliberately were found to have deliberately flouted the regulations about church gathering, and they were sentenced to 4 years.
Yes.
As a native of the constituency, how did you take that news?
Okay, so I felt a bit bad, but I realized that the education to the people wasn't that massive. You know, there are people who don't get even access to, you know, TV or even radio. So when saying it that, okay, this COVID is a pandemic and it's a serious one, people are dying from it, they don't get to hear it. So the education has been improved, you know, from that time till now. People now know the causes and what we need to do to, you know, move away from and be safe from the COVID. So for them, you know, it was the education.
Do you feel they were made an example of, considering that other people have also gathered in a similar fashion and nothing has happened to them, but the people from your constituency were made a serious example? 4 years is not a joke, you know, 48 months in jail.
I know, but I think they didn't take their education properly. I will speak for my people, or the education didn't really get down to them. So I wouldn't blame them much. You know, when we started, when the COVID came, you know, people were, you know, doubting if it was really true or not. But then as time went on, everybody realized that it's a serious one and we all need to be safe. So now they know what is going on, and I'm sure they are sorry now.
Well, sorry, it's a bit too late now because they're now behind bars. Yeah.
Yes.
Will you want them to come out early?
Yes. I pray that the president will be a bit considerate, that will allow them to come out, because I'm sure by now they've learned their lesson, and then they've realized that COVID is real and it kills.
Indeed, your campaign is also real,
Yes.
and fortunately, you're not killing anybody.
Not at all.
You want to help the people of South
Yes.
DAYI. And as we wrap up this conversation, what's the message that you'd like to give to those who will be voting on the 7th of December 2020?
Okay, thank you. So I would like to speak my language.
Okay, sure.
So Tobiwo mama me dakpena mi kakaka be LPG party emiva miafa duma mi homi nwede ne miva parliament mi homi nwede ne mi de miva miagba mi homi nwede akpena mi kakaka kake me di maglo na mi bede mi support LPG party, mi support him bede mi afa ideas ge bete me va glo na mi be anytime mi meet bete de mi afa susu ge mi kona mi de mi atu akọ wadona mi mi va be mi akpede mi o mi va be mi atu akpede mi afa dokeum mi ano no bo kukuna mi unye de mi vote nam December 7, 2020 akpena mi.
Akbanao, thank you very much, Priscilla Donkor, who
you.
is the parliamentary candidate for the good people of South DAYI in the Volta region, running on the ticket of the Liberal Party of Ghana, and she was just basically expressing thanks to the chiefs and the people of the South DAYI constituency, and asking for their support and backing for the ideas of her and her party. Bringing us to the end of this week's episode of The Next MP, 106 days and counting to December 7, 2020. Keep safe, wash your hands, social distancing, sanitization. Make sure that everything is healthy and clean so that you can express your vote on the day. Follow Diaspora Network Television across social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. And follow me as well. Kafui Day, I'd love to follow you, and I'll follow you back, right? Follow me, I'll follow you back. And so till we meet again next time, thank you for your attention, and this has been The Next MP.